Hi everybody. So, continuing to work on the rear spar of the left wing. So, the spar and all of its accoutrements are clecoed in on top of the ribs. Right now I'm also doing a little test fitting. So, at the moment I am test fitting the outboard aileron hinge bracket to the rear spar itself. And now, just for fun, that's right, and you'll see me do this a lot because this just makes me so happy. I'm going and test fitting the left aileron on because I really was curious about that whole replacement service bulletin bracket and the aileron rubbing and not fitting. So I was concerned. So I wanted to test fit the aileron on, and it fits. Look at it, isn't it glorious? So you'll notice that's the up position, and the up position, of course, it's got the hard stop, which if you look closely, you can just make it out on that interior bracket. It's got the thing that comes up, and it's the hard stop, and it works pretty well. And I played with this for like a couple of hours over a few day period. It just makes me so damn happy. And I just had it secured in place with a couple of torque wrench or torque head screwdrivers. Nothing permanent, of course. So there you saw. So now we're doing a little bit of countersinking. So this is where the instructions get a little bit difficult and an explanation is needed. If you look at the page inside of your plans, yours might differ depending on version. So I'm not going to say which page, but it's in the rear spar section, and it shows you the diagram of the back of the rear spar, and it'll show you all the the rivet sizes. So what you need to countersink is you need to countersink the flange of the rear spar where the doublers are only, right? So that's the only place on the flange that gets countersunk, because those will just have flathead rivets in them. Everything else will get dimpled on the flanges. However, in the plans, it looks as though where it says machine countersink, because it does have a circle around just the flange, it looks like it also encapsulates the entire doubler, but it doesn't. It's only for the flange. And I stared at that damn thing for like 30 minutes thinking, I have to machine countersink this whole thing? You don't. The only other place that you have to countersink is on the inboard doubler. So it's that tiny piece that goes on top of the spar doubler. And there's two rows that you need to countersink there. One you countersink for rivets, that's the bottom row. And then the one above that you countersink for skins. So it's just a few thousandths, probably about 5 thousandths to 10 thousandths of an inch deeper. So a flat skin will go against that later. And so everything has been deburred, and now just going through and dimpling all the flange like I talked about. So it's everywhere except for the places where it had already been countersunk. And here I am changing over to the standard size. So yeah, I couldn't use the longeron yoke in this one because it rubbed right against the spar. So the two flanges are actually bent past 90 degrees, and that's one thing. So so in order to dimple, you need to have the reduced diameter female dimple die number for a 3/32 dimple. Even with that in place and using the snub or the 3-inch like snub nose yoke, it still left a tiny bit of a scar on the metal itself. I mean, it's not a gash, it's just a smear. And you'll see what I'm talking about as you do them. I should have taken a picture of it, but I didn't. So now that all the holes have been, everything's been deburred and then dimpled, now I'm going through and deburring the edges, which you just saw me do. And we will continue this into the next video.